many candidates, including Bernie Sanders, have criticized the Supreme Court's 2010 decision on Citizens United, which allowed corporations and labor unions to spend unlimited amounts of money on campaigns. What are the ramifications of this decision on the 2016 race specifically?
Oh, I think it's huge, especially on the Democratic side, because Bernie Sanders at first has taken a huge stance on this. He's made it a huge part of the campaign, which in turn has made the other candidates accept it, and now it's a huge part of the entire race as a whole. And I mean, he has reason behind it. Wall Street has been making horrible decisions, and they've been reckless, and that's really a major player in the 2008 financial collapse. And to have corporations spending millions and even billions of dollars on being able to choose a candidate, it's really not fair. And it's no longer a democracy, it's an oligarchy, having a small few who are fortunate enough to have this money to be able to give to the candidates of their choice doesn't allow for the entire society to give the money because they don't have the money to give.
Well, I think it's kind of hard to say the government should go in and regulate this, because people do have a right to say no, we like this guy.
But it's not people, it's corporations.
Right.
Well,
and
it is
corporations,
people too, though.
a lot of corporations don't have to pay taxes at all, or they get a lot of tax breaks, but yet they're considered people when it comes to the issue of giving to campaigns. But then people have to pay taxes.
Yeah, of course.
Corporations
do too. Yeah, there's corporate tax.
Corporations.
Not the same tax rate, though. He's saying that because they're considered people.
Tax rates,
low compared to income tax rates. And some corporations really pay nothing at all.
Yeah, but I think they still have the right to endorse someone. Look, some of these
they can endorse them, but they can't give millions of dollars because that
Billions.
alters
Yeah.
the way that the campaign is run.
But look at Donald
and
Trump.
they're not in a similar place that the people are.
Yeah, but look at Donald Trump. Kind of like you say, this is corrupting a lot of people, but Donald Trump, he's kind of soaring to the top of the polls. He's self-funded.
Donald Trump, that's the thing, that's what I was about to bring up. This is not just an issue that we're seeing on the left. Now the far right has picked it up as well. Donald Trump is not accepting donations from, he doesn't have a super PAC. He's got $0 in super PAC money right now, according to the New York Times. I have that stat right in front of me. So I think that this is, and Bernie Sanders, he's sort of cast this campaign finance issue as a sort of part of his political revolution. He his campaign is all about how the billionaire class in the United States is sort of hijacking what it means to be American. I think actually Bernie Sanders' campaign is pretty conservative, if you ask me, because
That's not social.
50, 60 years ago, stuff like this didn't happen. CEOs were making 365 times their minimum paid employee in their company. Corporations couldn't give millions of dollars to political candidates. And, after the financial crash of, 1929, we regulated Wall Street really strictly. And now after the 2008 financial crisis, we're seeing those regulations roll back. So he's casting as sort of a larger issue, how the moneyed class is sort of taking over the country and destroying what it means. I actually think this campaign is really American. People have cast it as socialist and sort of foreign, but it's not. It's really American.
And I would also say, I don't think it's a matter of conservative or liberal. I just think Bernie,
what I'm saying is that it's sort of reminiscent of the past, the way things were. And now, post-Reagan, it's the way things are now, and that's not something that's sort of desirable for people who support the Sanders campaign. So I think that it's surprisingly conservative.
I think
political revolution. You mentioned that. I think that's also a major player.
But it's
in
a revolution
Bernie
to get
Sanders'
back to the way
but
things
look,
are.
but
hold on. It's
one of the
it's a
big parts
major
of conservatism,
player in
though.
his success in the election, the way he's running his campaign compared to Hillary Clinton on the Democratic side and the other candidates on the Republican side, he really is gaining enthusiasm that really hasn't been seen in a long time, except for in the Obama campaign. It's gaining a large enthusiasm from the voters, a lot of voters that don't normally show up to the polls, but now they're interested because it's a candidate they can come behind. And also, the way he's running it, the way that he's organizing his campaign on the ground, online. It's really strong, and the fact of the matter is he's actually meeting Hillary Clinton in donations, and he doesn't have a super PAC. He doesn't accept money from millionaires and billionaires. His average campaign donation is under $20. So it shows how well he's doing and how well his campaign is doing to be able to have this strong of a movement in such a society where business is really encouraged, and it's encouraged to just let the wealthy do whatever they want.
Well, I don't
One
think
last comment from Noah, and we'll have to conclude this segment.
Well, I think like the thing with like Bernie Sanders, like I wouldn't like say that he's particularly conservative. Like definitely not.
Well, that's not what I'm
Well,
saying.
he's
I'm saying
saying- of course he's
let me
not.
Of course
let
he's
me
not.
get back to this. Okay, so I'm trying to just go over a couple points here. Like for one thing, like a lot of the stuff like he's like going after is like kind of like like anti-conservative, and like on kind of like on your thing, on like how like he's doing really well. Like he's doing well in New Hampshire and Iowa, which are like is like of course he'd do well in there, like rural white states. More
Well,
or
he's
less.
putting effort
Yeah,
into
but-
those
but,
states.
you know-
Those are the states where
Yeah, everyone's
every
putting effort into
candidate
those
is
states,
putting
yeah.
the effort into, and the fact of the matter is Bernie Sanders' campaign is so strong, especially in the ground movement, in the grassroots movement, that he's gaining more traction in those states.
Yeah, wait.
Everybody's there.
And can I just say,
Everybody's
and can I just
focused
say,
on it.
when I meant conservative, I did not mean the conservative as like the political definition. I meant to conserve something. I think what we're seeing is people are seeing the way things were. In the 50s and the 60s, we had this shared growth. We had this shared growth where not, the economy is growing now, but all the sort of earnings are going to the top 1%, as opposed to in the 50s, 60s, and 70s when that wasn't happening. So I think we're just trying to get back to that.
Well,
that
the thing
doesn't
is
make it a conservative movement. It just means that it's sort of trying to get back. It's sort of reminiscent of the past.
Well, things
Thank you for coming to this presidential campaign roundtable. Thank you for watching.